It was a pretty simple victory for South Africa in the first T20I of the Tri Series. South Africa were dominant today, but not in the way that we might think. Not by taking a hell of a lot of wickets and then obviously scoring a hell of a lot of runs. In a T20 game, that's not what dominance really means. So, but we were quite dominant. We were winning by quite a big margin. Some of us might be feeling that we would have liked it to be a little more dominant than it actually was, but I'm happy with the first showing because it's always good for me to see players that are not necessarily always selected or players that are new, like debutants, and players that have been in the setup not for that long, step up and perform. So those are the type of things that I like to see in matches for South Africa now these days. And I'm really, really happy that we got to see that today. But before we get going, before we get started with today's review show, I would like to review show. I don't know why I have preview on the screen, but it's a review show. Yeah, so let's discuss the game and what we liked, what we didn't like, the selection. If you guys want to talk about that, we can talk about that too. So before we get going, before we get started, please subscribe to the channel though. Click that notification bell for all future videos, please. Smash the like button as well and click subscribe, like I said. But smash the like button, comment, and share. Uh, there is a very important thing that I need you guys to do, and that is comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we're going to be discussing everything that happened in the first game of the Tri Series between South Africa and Zimbabwe. South Africa were pretty much dominant in the entire match, and as you can see over here on the scorecard, we won the toss, Rassie van der Dussen, and elected to bowl first. And we got off to a very good start. It was 8 for 1 after 2.3 overs. And that was courtesy of Lungingidi, who bowled a very good line and length today. I liked how he cramped the batters for space in their crease. He kind of almost forced them to like play close to their body, and that in the end of the day was Madavere's downfall because he kind of stepped back and the ball came through and hit his stump. So he was almost pushed back because of the angle that Lungingidi was getting out of the wicket. So I was very impressed with Lungi today and the way he bowled. We did have periods in the match where we let the game go away from us a bit, and that ruthlessness we need to find again in this format now. But ultimately, it was a complete performance from the bowlers. Maybe bar one or two players that we can maybe say that were little bit expensive. But we let Brian Bennett was quite dangerous at first, coming back from that injury, that head injury. But the player that really stood out for Zimbabwe was Sikandar Raza, the captain. He scored 54 or 38 balls, 3 4s, 2 6s. He really punished Andile Semolani today. I really felt bad for Andile because of the way that he played, and the way he performed against him was fantastic. But they ended up with 141 for 6. And I've got to highlight that, like I said already, I was very impressed with Lungingidi, 1 for 15, economy of 3.75. But Nandre Berger, seeing him come back, finding that movement, the pace, the blistering pace that we know him for, he took 1 for 22, economy of 5.50. Then Corbin Bosch. This is what I was talking about Corbin Bosch when I said that that inconsistency of lines and links and not finding um, that consistent good lengths that are going to trouble a player. Yeah, today he was all over the place. North for 36, economy of 9. He was a bit all over the place today. Um, and we didn't see the same Corbin Bosch that we saw in the Test series, unfortunately. But it's one game, so I'm not going to get too critical over here because we won the game. So, George Linde, I'll get to him later. Ngaba Peter, he did take a very good wicket, but he was a little expensive in his 3 overs, 1 for 22, economy of 7.33. Not too bad. I was, I've seen, I can see improvements in his game. He's turning the ball a lot more, for example. And then Andile Samalani, it wasn't a great performance for him in his 2 overs. 0 for 29, 14.50 economy rate. He was really punished today. Couldn't get his straps today. I think the lines and lengths that he was bowling, he was a little bit too slow for the lengths and lines he was bowling. I don't think those were maybe perhaps lines and lengths that bowlers that have blistering pace should bowl. I feel maybe it was a little bit too easy for them to line him up and hit him. So, but also he was bowling to the most informed batter on the day. So that you could maybe say is a little bit of a unfortunate or unlucky situation from his part. But then overall, we've got Zimbabwe got 141 for 6 in their 20 overs. And South Africa went out to bat, and it wasn't a great start. We were 38 for 3. Luandre Pretorius is getting a first ball, duck, hitting straight back to the bowler. Riza Hendricks bowled by, or chopped on, basically, because he got off to a good start with 2 4s, but then he just chopped it on. Rassie van der Dussen had a decent start, 2 6s and a 4, and then he went out 2, so 16 or 13. So very disappointing for my senior players. It's unfortunate that they ended up playing the way they did after we were talking about it yesterday on how important their role is in the side when it comes to supporting the younger guys. But then again, they did lose the youngster very, very early on. But I'm not going to be too critical either on that because, I mean, this is the first game of the Tri Series. There's still plenty of games to go. And yeah, let's see what they do against New Zealand. But I have to highlight the 2 stars today, Ruben Herman and Deva Brevis. It's a pity that both didn't get half centuries. I would have really liked to see both of them get half centuries because they deserved it today. Ruben Herman really anchored the innings or anchored the chase, I would say. 45 of 37 balls, 5 4s, 1 6. And Deva Brevis, 41 of 17, 5 6s and a 4. He was fantastic, Dewald. He just really punished them today. And I like to see that ruthlessness from Deva Brevis. It's brilliant that he's in this team. And it's so great to see him now perform in Proteas colours. I just wish he could have put a milestone to his name. That would have just put a cherry on top for me. So unfortunately, he went out. He was unfortunately, yeah, he lost his wicket. And then Corbin Bosch came out and 23 or 15, 3 4s took South Africa over the line at the end of the day. There was still 4.1 overs left in the game. And yeah, South Africa ended up winning by 5 wickets. They scored 142 for 5. So brilliant performance from Ngarava over here from Zimbabwe for 3 for 35. But South Africa just were too good with the bat. Chased at a good rate, kept the rate up. So that also was brilliant. But they were helped, by some leg buys. 7 leg buys, 9 no ball, 1 no ball, and 1 wide. It's 9 extras from Zimbabwe's bowlers. Wait. No, that was South Africa. I lie. That was terrible from South Africa from that perspective. Extras, nah, no extras. Okay, so it was South Africa, all South Africa, I would say. That helped us win this match the way we batted, the consistency. that we showed, the aggression that we showed, the rate we kept it up quite at the 8.96 and over. So it was a quite a dominant performance from South Africa, and I'm happy with the first game. Ultimately, not much else to say really when it comes to the game. I think that is enough from that perspective. And yeah, we are in a great position when it comes to the tri series now because we've got our first one over the line. So well done, South Africa, on that part. Um, so, what do you guys think? It's now time for you guys to tell me what you guys think about the game. What are your thoughts? Um, who was your man of the match, etc.? Yeah, who was your man of the match, etc.? And yeah, Taim says bigger shocker for me that Similani is playing and not Gerald Coetzee who offered raw pay. So sad. In my time, says Riza, Rassi, Herman, too much tuk for no reason. Justin says Pretorius will have to compete with Rickleton and Riza for the World Cup 2026 opening spots. Justin says if Herman wants to be in the side for a long time, then he needs to up his strike rate. He and Rassi is kind of similar players. I think, yeah, in my times cases, I would have liked to bat first and throw batters so we would have scored plenty. Um, Sam says you cannot ignore Linde brilliance in T20s. I think he is a really good player for us, and I haven't ignored it. He is the poster, the thumbnail. So I'm not definitely not ignoring it. He is the player that stood out for me in this match, ultimately. And Deva Brevis for me and Ruben Herman were both brilliant. Um, so yeah, this is going to be a short and sweet review, guys. There's not much else to talk about, really, about this game. It was a pretty simple game, um, and yeah, I think that is fine. Um, let's talk about the next game. We play New Zealand on Wednesday. Um, we do do we make any changes? Um, that will probably be dependent on conditions as well on the day of the pitch on the day. Might need an extra spinner because the more games will be played on the strip. Um, so from a South African standpoint, I think that we need to play in Coach Shukri's mind the best team that we have available. I do think that we don't need to change anybody in the top six. I think the changes will happen seven down. So maybe we'll see some mixes up there for the next game. Daim says Gerald in place of Somalani against New Zealand. Sam says T20 World Cup 2024 was a really good jersey, in my opinion. I don't like this jersey, by the way. Justin if X says, so don't opponents know Brewer's strength is facing spinners? Laugh out loud. Yeah, well, I mean, because sometimes he does fail to the spinners as well. So I think they may be a little bit, I don't know what their thoughts are about that, but I don't think they really managed that situation very well. But Brevis was just, he was fantastic. I really enjoyed that part of the match. Um, Sarfa says David is fabulous. You will not believe David has a growing fan base in India. I do know that. It's very pretty obvious that he does. So I know about his fan base in India and how popular he is there. So yeah, I want Deva to play. Deva must definitely play in the next. I think that, like I said, the top six should stay the same for me, and then we maybe just change someone down the line. I would maybe swap out Bosch for Gerald Coetzee because I want to give Similani more opportunities to play. Um, I want to see if he can find that quality that we know he has that I've seen in domestic cricket. That's what I'm hoping for from his perspective. So it's it's a change that I would make probably is I want to give Somalani as many opportunities as possible because his opportunities have been quite sporadic. Year game, their game, year game. So I would like to see him get how he would do if he gets a run of games. Um, will he then be able to show us his true quality? Because I think there's a real player in Similani. I've always been a big fan of his. Um, Sam says, I think if Klassen would be with Proteas in T20 World Cup 26, we would have a really good chance. No, we won't. Sarfaz says Deva just need a read to the match, just needs to read the match situation well and play the paces well. Sam, I just want to go back to this comment. We had him. We had him. We had a final. He had the opportunity to win the final for us, 30 of 30, and he let us down. So, and then he let us down by deciding to retire. So, I don't want another AB situation where we're begging players to play for South Africa. If you don't want to play for South Africa, then don't play for South Africa. So, I'm not going to go. I wouldn't want anybody to go there and beg for this guy to come play for South Africa. If he wants to play for South Africa, he should have made it very clear that he wants to do that. Deerwoud just has to needs to read the match situation well and play the pace as well. Taim says, I hope Rivers learns to go long and score 50 or even 100. Sarfar says, Linde has to be the most consistent player in the T20s. The fact that he bowled the last over shows how good he is. He has to be regular in the T20 team. I agree with you. Taim says, what changes you want in the team? I already said. I would like to see Gerald Kutsia come in. I want to see what he's got in for Corbin Bosch. Similani should, I think, is a better batter than where he was batting. So I think he can maybe bat at 7. Um, Brevis will only learn with playing different situations, getting used to just needs to play regularly. Yeah, but so the same goes for, like, I know these people want to criticize Milani and say he needs to get regular game time. I'm saying that he needs to get dropped when he has poor performance. But if another player has a poor performance that they like, then they say, oh no, he needs regular game time. So I think, for example, with Similani, I think he deserves that, the regular game time, to show us what he can do. He hasn't had many games for South Africa. So, I mean, for us to just shun him because there's a player there. We trusted the, because if we need to be fair, because there was a time when Brevis was getting a game here and there, and he wasn't getting. He wasn't getting uh, opportunities really to play. We all know his talent, and we we kept on saying no, he needs to get regular game time, and then he performed today, for example. So they gave him a chance. But Andile's only played 5 games for South Africa, and it wasn't the best circumstances either that he played in. So I want to see him get some more opportunities. Sarah says Luan Trey, Rassi, Brevis, Herman, Linde should be backed for the World Cup T20 squad. Bit of a concern with Brevis playing loose shot just when he is set. He needs to capitalize the good start and aim for a big score. Justin says, how do you think Rassi is a starter in the T20 11 against the Aussies? No, I don't think so. When Aiden comes back and Stubbs comes back, um, I think that the likes of Deerwoud needs to be put into this team, and George Linde needs to come into this team. Um, so those are things that I would like. Sarfraz Hussain says, not bad from Ruben Herman in the first game. He actually played a balanced and a holding innings. He definitely coming in the eyes of IPL teams gradually if he continues. Sam says Bakhari Brevis is in demanding leagues, and as well he plays IPL, and I think CSA is best franchise to grow with him. Come on, we know why Deerwoud. Besides Deerwoud's talent, we know why Deerwoud also got selected for the IPL, etc., and all of those stuff. There was a big buzz around Deerwoud as a kid. Yes, and it's got a lot to do with the way he was performing for S under 19. So um, yeah, there's a high demand. There was a high demand around him because there was also a massive storm around him with the way he was, because of the way he was performing at under 19 level. He played against the India team as well, and really played well against them in the World Cup, I think. Um, and yeah, that when you do that, you automatically are going to be on the radar. People are unfairly criticizing Herman. He actually played brilliantly. I think he played well today. I'm not criticizing him at all. So I know you may be not talking about me, but I'm just saying. Uh, Sam says, I think Shukri should move on from Riza and start with Ryan Rassi to be open, because in SA20 also Riza doesn't open. It's Riza, Rassi, both has good partnerships, and at three, either Aiden, Lahandre, and Herman. You see, I want to see more of Lahandre at international level now. It wasn't a very good start to his international T20 career. Good start to his test career, though. I'm very happy about that. Um, but ultimately, I want to see. Let's see how they play against New Zealand. That's going to be a very, very good test. It's a very strong New Zealand side, and it's going to be a proper test for this team to see how they perform, etc. So, yeah, ultimately, I am happy. I am. I think we are ready for the next match, and South Africa were very good, and that's all I have to say for you today. So it's a very short show because it was a short game. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell for all future videos. Please smash the like button, comment, and share. Don't forget to comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream. Please, guys, let me know who you'd like to see start against New Zealand in the comment section. It would really be awesome to hear your thoughts. And all of those type of things, please. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again on Tuesday with another on Wednesday with another review show. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of your evening.